Alright y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron and today we're gonna do a makeup tutorial. Well, not really a tutorial because originally I was gonna do a tutorial, but I decided that it would be like better for me to do my makeup while I talk about why breakups technically aren't that like detrimental and how really it really does depend on the person. And I feel like there's certain things you can do to make a breakup come with ease, because if you take it as a learning experience, technically it's light. So I thought that would be better instead of like talking through my makeup and stuff. So I'm not gonna talk too much. We're just gonna get into the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Okay y'all, so I found the notes. I got them right here, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, number one, having some type of boundary when it comes to relationships. Like I was saying, having some type of boundary getting into a relationship or finding boundaries when you're in a relationship. Because I would say you need to have some type of boundary when you get into a relationship, which is true. But sometimes people don't know what their boundaries are until they get into a relationship. So that's why I said when you're in a relationship, like this is something I struggle with. Like I've been through it all. Like I've been broken up with, I've done the I've been broken up with, you guys get what I'm saying. I've been cheated on, I've been through it all, literally with the exact same person. So I've been, you know, good terms, bad terms, whatever. Like I've been through it all. So you need to have some type of boundaries, and you need to be very strict on your boundaries. Like I'm not talking about like have boundaries, but you know, let them slide. Like I have boundaries when it comes to everybody else, but when it comes to you, it's okay. Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. You need to have strict, extremely strict boundaries, and you need to stick to them, which is why I feel like relieves the pressure of getting into a relationship and you guys ending it, where it's no like, oh, you know, I did everything for this person. I dropped my boundaries. I did this, I did that. Like, there's none of that because you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it relieves the pressure of just like, you know, I was still my own person in a relationship. That's another thing. Like, you gotta be your own person in a relationship. Like, there is no reason, I don't care, argue with your mama. There's no reason why you should be on the phone with your significant other all day. Like, I mean, talking about all day while you're at school, while you're at work, while whatever. I don't care, but there's no reason you should be on the phone with your significant other all day while y'all are pursuing other things, other stuff in your career, stuff that makes y'all happy. Like, getting into a relationship should not require you to become one person. Like, y'all were originally two people when y'all met. Like, stick to that. You get what I'm saying? So you need to have strict boundaries and not let them fold because of like, oh, you like this person, you love this person, like all that is BS person. Like, and I'm a victim to that. Like, I've done that before plenty of times, and I would, now that I'm, you know, out of a relationship, I'll probably never do that again. Like, your boundaries, like, this is a wall, this is your boundaries, and this is one person that you're letting them down to, and y'all end. It's like, who even am I? You know what I'm saying? But that's just what I feel. That's just what I think. So moving on to the next one. I really don't use primer. And I'm not gonna use primer. I don't know. I always feel kind of messed up when I don't use primer because all the girls use primer, but I just cannot stand primer, so I'm not gonna use it. But moving on to the next one, you need to learn how to trust yourself. This actually collides with the boundary thing. Trust that you are making the decision that is best. Why is this not coming out? Oh crap, it's a lot, dude. Okay. Trust that you are making the right decision, whether it's wrong or right. And let me repeat that, because you guys are probably like, girl, what the hell did you just say? Trust that you're making the right decision, even if the decision may be wrong. You need to start trusting yourself. When you get that sick feeling in a relationship that you feel like you're not getting treated right, or you feel like something's going on, like all my ladies, I don't really know much if like men get this too, but for all my ladies, you get that sick ass feeling that something is going on, you need to trust that the next decision you make is the right decision. Whether it's like physically wrong, you need to make sure that what you're doing is the right decision. If you say you was going to break up with that man if this, that, and the third, break up with that man. Like, stop making the excuses. And honestly, I didn't even realize this until like a week ago. Like, the reason trusting yourself is, I feel like this is really, really important. Trusting yourself, the main topic I'm talking about right now, is really important because if you do not trust yourself, you send an energy frequency to everybody, everyone you attract, everyone who's around you. You send a certain energy frequency screaming at them, yeah, she doesn't trust herself. Like, at the end of the day, whether you feel it, whether you don't, where is my, hold on, you guys. Oh, it's right here. Whether you feel it, whether you don't, it doesn't matter. You're sending an energy frequency to everybody around you saying that she doesn't trust herself. And you're going to start attracting people who either don't trust you or don't trust themselves, and who are always going to put you in a state and mind of confusion. And that's, that's the hard truth of it. But like, example wise, for me, like, I'm very attractive. Like, I call myself pretty all the time. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm not pretty. There's no doubt in my mind I don't have good looks. So I ended up attracting someone who ended up complimenting me every second they got. So it's kind of like, how you feel about yourself is what you're going to attract at the end of the day, which is why it's important to trust yourself. It's important to commit to what you're saying you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? If you don't trust yourself, how can you expect someone else to trust you? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So those two go hand in hand. Those two definitely go hand in hand. Keep your boundaries strict to trust yourself to make the right decision. You guys see what I did there, right? Okay, for real. But I'll never get done with my makeup if I keep. Ow. My eyelashes got in my eye. Ooh, I forgot I wrote this one down. You need to learn to leave people alone, like, the first time. Like, not even on some crazy, like, not even on like, oh, you sure? Oh, you this and the third. Like, not that. Like, I'm talking about when people clearly in your face have something going on. I'm talking about whether it's trauma, whether it family, something is going on. And here's, like, I've been with someone who, has had trauma, and whatever the case may be. People are selfish, and they're going to keep you around. This is what's going to happen. People are very, very selfish, and they're going to keep you around because you make them feel good. Whether they're hurting you, whatever the case may be, it's a human thing. Like, people are not going to tell you that, hey, I have freaking trauma and I think you should leave me alone, this, that, and the third. Like, yes, let me not say people are not going to tell you that, but it's very uncommon for people to say, like, hey, I have trauma, right now I just have too much going on and I can't really deal, but I can't really put my focus in and treat you right at the same time. People are not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to make you swell into a hole with them. And now you're stuck where you're at saying, oh, what did I do wrong? I mean, if that's the type of person part, you know what I'm saying? But that's why breakups seem like it's the most devilish thing on planet Earth, because people don't know how to leave people the freak alone. Like, sometimes you have to, all of these are connected. If you trust yourself, and if you have a strict boundary with yourself, you wouldn't even end up in this situation, because you could tell. Like, stop ignoring your gut. This honestly all pertains back to, you gotta stop ignoring your gut. Like, if someone has something going on and you already know that they may need the time to, do what they need to do, you need to let them do that. I know people are going to be like, well, it's not up to me to figure out if something wrong. They should be grown enough to tell me, which I definitely agree. Like, people should be grown enough to tell you, like, what's going on. But the sad case of the world is not if people don't tell you. So for me personally, why keep figuring out why people don't tell you? Just know how people work and move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, just that's how you do that. Just like, Move accordingly to how people work. People are selfish, and people would rather keep you around than be honest and say, look, I have stuff going on and I cannot maintain this, and honestly, I'm gonna probably pull you down in a deep, deep hole with me and my trauma if you stay with me. No one's gonna no one's gonna say that. Like, that's the sad truth of it all. No one's gonna take that. So it's up to you to make the decision. It's up to you to make a lot of decisions in a relationship. Like, I've been called selfish in a relationship. I mean, looking back on it, it was kind of like, dang. But looking back on it now, the hell, good. Like, I'm really glad that I was selfish as hell in a relationship. And now that I'm out of the relationship, I can tell, like, I just trusted myself. Like, I always am going to put myself first at the end of the day. I'm always going to put myself first. And that's probably why I should not be in any type of relationship at all right now, because I am selfish. I'm extremely selfish. At the end of the day, I'm extremely selfish. And because I take pride in being selfish, because I don't think, like, I'm a very sweet person, but I also take pride in knowing that if you F up so many times, what makes you think that I'm finna, come on now, be realistic. So I'm also not like a dummy. You know what I'm saying? But that's why all of these things are connected, and that's why breakups are really not the end of the world. It just depends on how you look at breakups at the end of the day. Like, if you, like, I look at breakups as learning experiences. Like, now I do. I didn't always. But now I do, because you know how many people on this planet? Billions. There's billions of people on this planet. So what is the big to do if, like, genuinely, what is the big to do if a couple of people walk out your life and you're a little lonely? You're gonna meet someone new. Ooh. And before I get into that, that's my next topic. And I didn't even write this one down. This is just one I came up with. But I forgot. It was a good one too, y'all. It was a good one. Wait. Remember, but it was a good one. Hopefully it'll come back to me. But moving on to, I don't even know how many topics we're on right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. We could be on 3 or we could be on the first one. I'm just rambling. You need to cut all communication off with your ex. You gotta cut all communication off. Like, whether you're ending on good terms, whether you're ending on bad terms. This is a very important part. You gotta cut all communication off, because you need to go in a state of healing. And what healing is to me, you need to go in a state of missing somebody without telling them you miss them. Like example wise, like normally every time I go out, there's something that reminds me of, like, why does my earrings keep falling out? There's something when I go out, it reminds me of, my past significant other. And when you're friends with your ex, not even 24 hours, y'all broke up, you don't even have, like, the ability to miss them, because this is what's gonna happen. There's always an opportunity for you to say something to them. Like, you could pass a Smoothie King, and instead of thinking, dang, like, I remember we used to go to that Smoothie King all the time, but maybe someone else will be able to, maybe when I meet somebody else, they'll like Smoothie King, this, that, and the third. You don't even get to do that, because the first thing you're gonna do out of experience, you're gonna text your ex and you're gonna say, hey, I just passed our, like, favorite Smoothie King that we used to go to all. And it's always gonna be a little slither, a little hole where y'all could, like, continue to talk. Where is my blush brush? Oh, here it is. There's always gonna be some type of opportunity for you guys to talk, for you guys to converse. You're not healing. Y'all are just too scared to let each other go. Like, I've been there. I've literally been there, and I've been the person who was just scared to let somebody go. At the end of the day, you need to suck it up. I love blush. Like, you see, like, how bland my face looked before, and now it just looks so luscious. But you need to know when to let go. and stop communicating with them. Like, just stop. Like, there's no, you need that time to think about the relationship. You need that time to heal. And mind you, everybody's healing process is completely different, but you need that time to think about somebody else. And what I mean by think about somebody else, I mean think about somebody besides your ex. Like, as time goes on, you start thinking about not other people, but you start thinking about other characteristics you would want in someone else. Like, my old significant person was a great person, like amazing person. However, were we the compatibilist people? No. So the things that I liked about him and the things that I didn't like about him, I just separated them and moved it on to the next person. Like, that's what's gonna happen, and that's the things that I'm manifesting. That's the things I'm attracting. And with the help of me setting my boundaries, and the help of me trusting myself, and the help of me knowing that it's coming, knowing that someone's gonna be able to meet my expectations. My bad. I don't have to really stress about it anymore, if that makes sense. So cutting communication off is very important. Let me tell you. If you don't cut, that is put a dot right in the middle. Oh my God. Whatever. Well, honestly, whatever. But saying cutting communication gives you that time to think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't think about someone else when you're still in communication with your ex. You just can't. You can't think about their character flaws. You can't think about the relationship. You can't evaluate the relationship. You can't, because you're still talking to them at the end of the day. So think about that and reflect on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the real reason why you're still communicating with them? Here, this is where people are very dishonest. The homegirl, you got your homeboy telling you, hey, you know, hold on, y'all. Right? You got your homeboy and you got your homegirl telling you, you know, I just think it's best for you guys to, you know, stop communicating. And you lose your mind. Well, it's clear as day that you guys, did I over, oh girl, I think I overlined them a little bit too much, but honestly, who cares? It's clear as day that you guys are scared to let each other go. Like, it's fine. Notice it. Notice that it's a problem. But I don't want to say notice it's a problem, because everyone's different. You know what I'm saying? But notice it and, you know, act accordingly. And going back to the trauma thing, or knowing that you're with someone who's with someone who has trauma, accept the consequences if you stay with them. Let me say that. I know it's very hard to leave someone with trauma, because me personally, if someone verbally tells me, like, I need you here, or I want you here, or I think, you know, whatever the case may be, I'ma stay. Like, that's just something I've accepted about myself. You know what I'm saying? Whether it hurts me, whether, it doesn't matter, because if you're telling me that you need me here, and you're telling me that I could help you, whatever the case may be, I'ma stay. So that's just my personality trait. Well, that's just the type of person I am. I wouldn't even say it's a personality trait, but I'm going to stay. So that's just how I am. But I also need to accept the consequences when I put myself in situations like that. I'm no longer going to put my situations like that. I'm no longer going to put myself in situations like that. But understand the consequences when you do. I'm not saying just, you know, leave someone in the dust when they have trauma, but this is where boundaries come in. Do not call my phone at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're having a meltdown, knowing I have work at 5. Whew, Lord, be realistic. Like, you know, and that's why I feel like people with trauma, I'm kind of jumping off topic, because I think that was the last one. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure, because I'm basically done with my makeup. Oh, I do have stop begging or asking. I do have that on there, but I feel like that's a given. Like, stop begging and asking people to do stuff. At the end of the day, like, if you tell them one time and they don't do it, move on. This saves you a lot of stress, saves you a lot of everything. Stop falling in love with potential. I just realized I didn't spray these hairspray. But no, for real, stop falling in love with potential. Just stop. Just fall in love with the person that's in front of you. And I think everything will go smoothly. Stop confusing yourself. Like, I'm guilty of this, and I could possibly be talking to me. But stop confusing yourself. Like, if someone is red in front of you, stop thinking that they're red and green. They're red. If they're green, they will come back to you and show you green. Like, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, is always going to send you someone at the right time. Send you someone when you're ready. Send you someone when you're developed. Whatever the case may be. Stop confusing yourself. That is why breakups seem like the most mentally draining thing on planet Earth. And it feels like someone's ripping your heart out of your soul, because everyone wants to ignore the things that's in front of them, and then want to play the blaming game when stuff goes down. You know what I'm saying? Trauma. Just accept the consequences. You know, I'm not saying like don't ever deal with someone with trauma, because I think at the end of the day, we probably all have trauma. I don't think I really have trauma, because I'm not going to claim I do. I think I overline that so messy. I hope it doesn't look messy on the camera, because that'll be embarrassing. At the end of the day, breakups are not what's hurting you to death. It's your lack of boundaries and your lack of respect for yourself. And at the end of the day, that's the hard truth. If you take If you take breakups as a learning experience, you will understand that they're not as detrimental as people think. There's billions of people on this planet. People are going to leave, and people are going to disappoint you, and people are going to... I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me your thoughts and stuff on what you think I said. Like, do you think that I was being dramatic? Do you think I was being false? Whatever the case may be, just let me know. So, bye you guys.